Hello. Welcome to today's channel, where we are going to talk about what I feel like is a very important topic, which I called polarization. So I was thinking how to go about this topic, and if we simplify, to see what is going on right now, me trying to communicate something and you are watching what I'm trying to communicate, and unconsciously and consciously you'll be deciding if this is valuable, worth watching, and it will depend on what I will communicate, consciously and unconsciously. So you got interested in the topic of polarization, and I'm going to address it because I feel like it's very important to do so. And I came about these topics many times, but what I've seen I can really relate to when I see what's going on in the world. On social media, when you go on Facebook and people are talking, or when you're communicating anywhere, you basically observe the dynamic when people agree or they don't agree. And if they agree, they can either leave it at that level, okay, agreed, I can move on, or they can also group together and take it somewhere, take some actions according to those ideas, which is great. And then on the other side, you have disagreements. And this is where I want to put some light into, because I've seen the disagreements go in this sense. If I say something to you that you will share the values and beliefs of, you will most likely agree and jump on board on what I'm saying. If you disagree, it's because your values and beliefs are simply different than mine, and that's fine as well. And but what I wanted to say is what happens next when you disagree, because I've seen people, they really come at you, they attack you. It's like if I'm expressing some opinion, I'm just expressing my opinion, and they could say oh, what I'm expressing my opinion that you're stupid, you don't know what you're talking about. Now, even with this dynamic, I've noticed that there is an accusatory tone, and there is criticism in a sense of trying to offend somebody else. So let's say if there would be a punching bag, like a physical reality, when you would put some sort of disagreement in a sense of aggression and insulting and humiliating the other one because of their opinion, it would be like punching it. But because we don't see the emotional energy and verbal attacks a lot of times as aggressive, we just go on hurting somebody else just because of different opinion. And then these opinions clash, there's this opposition, and people disagree and it clashes. So that's kind of like dynamic when there's this polarization happening. However, when you take yourself deeper into awareness, or higher in awareness, as you choose to see it, you see that this dynamic from the higher point of view. And I think this is so crucial to do that. That's why I'm recording also this video, to try to get people to get us all from polarization in a sense of accusation and separating from another human being. Because this is what causes problems in the world. If I have one perspective, somebody else has a different perspective. So we don't know a lot of times, when you don't look at it from higher perspective, that we get caught into it, and then we go, asserting our own right, which is what's basically happening is your ego that wants to separate from another and be right, because why do we want to feel right? We feel great about it, we'll get other people into it, and it enhances our sense of self, and makes us feel good, makes us feel smart and meaningful, so we will defend it. And what I'm trying to say is from this ego level, Yes, you'll do that. But if you don't rise above that, you will not have this polarization in a sense of coming together, shaping the different views and beliefs is in more healthier way of finding the commonality. You will remain separate, and then you will act from this separate point of view, this selfish view that only includes one perspective. Now, when you raise your awareness, you start to see this dynamic. And when I say something, I'm not saying it necessarily to attack you, because that's how people react. Like they react like you attack them, when you have different point of view. I'm saying when you take yourself higher from the higher awareness, you don't see it as a personal attack, because you're not just the ego trying to be right, but you're also something else that connects these two parts. So, there are videos that I made and I will be making about how to get to this level to see this, so we don't get so much caught into this polarization, because polarization, there's nothing wrong with it. The way I see it is just it's a necessary path in the evolution. You can say evolution of consciousness, you can look at it as just biological evolution, but nevertheless, it's a part of it, and we are meant to evolve from this part in a sense of integration. And then you can have a different opinion from somebody else, and you can disagree, and you can still be, buddies, you still be friends, and you don't attack another human being verbally, emotionally. Of course, electronics, physical is a little bit difficult, but you just don't attack another human being because you understand better what's happening. And you understand better because you are part of the same species trying to make it together. Like imagine, I always like to say, that my organism, my body is a community of cells. Now imagine if I'm like a heart cell and somebody is like a lung cell. Now just see how ridiculous it is that if the blood, the heart cell would say like, I'm all about the blood, and the lung would say like, I'm all about the processing the oxygen. But they are basically doing the same thing. They're serving the same organism. So this is the same thing when it's happening between people. We are serving the same organism. You can see it like a humanity. So what point, what purpose does it make if you dwell on being different and using this as separation between somebody else who is the same as you? We're the same. So it worries me a little bit, when I look at this debate and when I post what I post on Facebook or my channel or website, that people use these different values and beliefs to separate further, And there's a reason why you do it, It goes deeper, but I'll give it to you in short. You relate too much to your body, to your ego, and to your ideas, and you think like your world is gonna end if you don't, So that's why it's crucial to go to continue in the evolution of consciousness, of how the world functions, in able to understand and start making some good choices that are going to lead to more integration, not separation. Because when you have more integration and working from the higher level, you just see better, and then you don't act out of this wounded ego of traumas and trying to be right and just dwelling there and making a whole bunch of problems for yourself and for others. Then the people are competing, like you can see even on the bigger level, governments are competing between each other, and then like somebody develops this and the other ones wants to as well because they wants to be better, it just keeps on going, And if we don't understand better and raise awareness, it will keep on going on until it kills us the way as we know ourselves, So, I went a little bit on a rant here, but I think you get the idea and the importance of this realization, that's why I'm doing all this, So I think like even if you disagree, let's agree how to say, let's move forward with this agreement. Let's not use it as a separation, you know. Let's disagree and say like, well, what are the common things? What do I agree with, you know? Let's not dwell just on disagreement because it feels so energetic, you know, I want to fight and assert your right, you know. Let's see at the other part, you know. Let's move on. Let's not just look at just this part where it's so it's triggering. It's so much triggering, you know, because it's like children not refusing to grow up, you know, and then causing a whole bunch of problems in the world, you know, not just to yourself and your narrower community. So I'll leave you with that, and please comment below, you know, hopefully with this new realization in even the way we make comments, you know. So I think it's all for the greater good, you know, for all of us, you know. We're in it together, you know. So anyway, have a good day, and yeah, talk to you soon.